Assalamu alaikum. How are you all? I hope all of you are doing well. Welcome back to maths class, and I am Nashat Miss. In the last class you have learnt about multiplication. Also you have learnt about repeated addition and multiplying numbers in some easy ways, right? Do you remember that? Alright, that's good. So moving to today's lesson. So today we are going to learn about multiplication with and without regrouping the numbers. Yes. How are we going to do that, right? So let's figure it out. So first, I would like to share the learning intention and the success criteria of this lesson with you. Okay, so today we are going to learn multiplying numbers with and without regrouping. Okay, and the success criteria is I will be successful if I can multiply at least two of the numbers with and without regrouping. Okay, so try this. So when you start multiplying a number, first thing is you need to arrange the multiplicand and the multiplier in columns. Multiply the digit at the units place for the multiplicand with the multiplier. And after that, multiply the digit at the tens place of the multiplicand with the multiplier to obtain the result. And also, if you have another number in hundreds place value, you need to multiply the value in the hundred place to the multiplier to get the results. Okay? In addition to that, while doing regrouping numbers, one thing you need to remember is to add the carryover digit to obtain the result. Okay? So, in the table on the right, it shows 3 rows of numbers. Okay? So, this is a multiplying number, and you are going to tell me what is these 3 sets of numbers called. Okay? So, the 32, what do we call to 32? Yes, it is called a multiplicand. And how about the 3? What do we call to 3? Yes, correct. It is the multiplier. And how about this 96? Why is 96 there? And what's the name for that? Yes, it is the product. So 96 is the product of 32 and 3. Alright, so next part is multiplying without regrouping. Before I start explaining, I would like to ask you how many of you know the term regrouping? Okay, I'll give a little bit of introduction about this regrouping. Okay, so regrouping is making groups of tens when carrying out operations like addition, subtraction, and even multiplication with 2-digit numbers or large. Okay, so next part is, so when we do a number, there are a few steps we need to follow. So first, when we start multiplying, we need to start multiplying the ones is shown below. First of all, we need to multiply the number in ones place value, okay, with the multiplier. So here 2 is in ones place value, so we need to multiply 2 by 3. So as we multiply 2 by 3, we get a result as 6, right? So we put the result under the ones place value. Okay. Second is we need to multiply the tens. Okay. So in the tens place value we have a 1. Okay. So we need to multiply 1 by 3. Alright. So when we multiply 1 by 3, we get a result as a 3. So we put the result under the tens place value. So when we multiply 12 by 3, we get a result as a 36. Let's try another example. So multiply 23 by 3. Remember the steps. First multiply the ones. So we multiply 3 by 3 and we get 9 as a result. So we write the 9 under ones place value. Then we multiply the tens. Very good. And we write the result under tens place value. So when we multiply 2 by 3, it will give us a 6. So the answer is 69. So when we multiply 23 by 3, it will give us a 69. Next, another example here. So this time we have a larger number, 213 by 2. How are we going to do this part? Okay, so as we already know, we start multiplying the ones and we put the results in the ones place value. So let's begin. So first we are going to multiply 3 by 2, which will give us a 6, and we write the 6 under ones place value. Then again we are continuing the multiplying the tens, and the result we are putting under tens place value. So when we multiply 1 by 2, it will give us a 2. Very good. And the last, finally, we have to multiply the hundreds and put the result in the hundreds place value. So let's multiply 2 by 2. How much it will be? 4. So 2 multiplied by 2 is 4 here. So when we multiply 213 by 2, it will give us a 426 as a result. So up to here we have learned how to multiply numbers without regrouping. So next is multiplying with regrouping. Let's have a look.
Hi, and welcome to Math Antics. In this video lesson, we're going to learn how to do basic multi-digit multiplication. Now this can be tricky at first, but don't get discouraged. It just might take some extra time and practice, but you'll get the hang of it. One thing I want to mention before we start is that multi-digit multiplication will be much easier for you if you memorize your basic multiplication facts. But if you don't have them memorized, then be sure to have a multiplication table handy when you're doing your practice problems. Okay. The best way to learn this is to jump right in. Let's try 137 times 5. Now as you can see, this is a 3-digit number times a 1-digit number. When you're given a problem like this, where the numbers are written side by side, you need to rewrite it in stacked form, with the ones places lined up the way we did with addition and subtraction. Now you might remember with multiplication that the order of the problem doesn't matter, so we could put whichever number we want on the top or the bottom. But it's always best to put the number with the most digits on the top and the one with the fewest digits on the bottom. There, now we draw our answer line below, and we put our time symbol to the left so we don't forget that we're multiplying. Okay, now we're ready to learn the procedure for multiplying. Basically, what we're going to do is break up this big multiplication problem into a series of small multiplication problems, or steps. Those small steps involve multiplying a digit in the bottom number by a digit in the top number. Now in our problem, we only have one digit on the bottom, and we're going to multiply it by each of the digits in the top number. And since the top number has 3 digits, that means that our problem will have 3 small multiplication steps. For the first step, we multiply the bottom digit, 5, by the digit in the ones place of the top number, which is 7. We always start with the ones place and work our way from right to left. So 5 times 7 gives us 35. Now just like with addition, when we get a 2-digit answer, we have to carry the first digit to the top of the next column, because it'll be in the way of the next answer digit if we don't. So the 5 stays down here in the ones place of the answer, but the 3 gets carried up to the top of the tens place column. Now it's time for the second step. We multiply the bottom digit 5 by the next digit to the left in our top number, 3. So 5 times 3 equals 15. But wait a second, there's that 3 we carried up to the top from the last answer. What do we do with that? Well, we need to add it to the answer that we just got. That's because that 3 was supposed to go in the tens place of the answer, but just not all by itself. We had to do the second multiplication step first and see what else needed to go in that answer spot with it. And it turned out to be a 5, the second digit of the answer 15. So we have to combine the 2 digits that both go in that answer place. That's why we add the digit we carried, and we end up with 18. But once again, our answer is a 2-digit number, so we leave the 8 in our answer line, and we carry the 1 up to the top of the hundreds place column. Now for our third and last multiplication step. We have 5 times 1, which is just 5. But again, there's that digit we carried up above so it wouldn't be in the way. What do you think we do with that digit? Yep, we add it to the answer we got from the multiplication step. So 5 plus 1 gives us 6, and that's what goes in our answer line. Okay then, we've done all 3 of our multiplication steps, and the answer to our problem, 5 times 137, is 685. Now that wasn't so bad, was it? Let's try one more example before you practice some on your own. Let's multiply 2,617 by 4. Again, we stack our problem with the ones places lined up, and we make sure that the number with the most digits is on top. Because our top number has 4 digits this time, it means we'll break this problem up into 4 small multiplication steps. We'll multiply the bottom digit by each digit in the top number, starting with the ones place on the right and working our way left. Okay, here we go with the first step. We multiply the bottom digit by the top digit in the ones place. 4 times 7 equals 28. Because we have a 2-digit answer, we need to carry the digit that'll be in the way. We're going to add it back in after we complete the next multiplication step. So we carry the 2 to the top of the tens column, and we leave the 8 where it is. Now we can do the second step. We multiply the bottom digit by the next digit in the top number. 4 times 1 equals 4. That was easy. But don't forget about that digit we carried. We need to add that to our answer from the second step. So 4 plus 2 gives us 6, and that's what we put in our answer place. And this time we have a 1-digit answer, so we don't need to carry. We can just move on to the next step. For our third multiplication step, we'll multiply 4 times 6, and that gives us 24. Yep, it's a 2-digit answer, so we'll need to carry again. The 4 stays in the answer, and the 2 moves up to the top of the thousands column. Now it's time for the fourth and last step. We multiply 4 times 2, which is 8, but then we need to add the digit we carried, which is a 2. So 8 plus 2 gives us 10, and that can go down in our answer line. And even though it's a 2-digit number, we don't have to carry because we're all done with our multiplication steps, and we have our final answer. 4 times 2,617 equals 10,468. All right, that's the basics of multi-digit multiplication, but it's really important to practice so you get good at it. Be sure to do the printable exercises for this section. Then, once you think you have it down, you'll be ready to move on to the next video and learn how to do multiplication when both of the numbers have multiple digits. Thanks for watching Math Antics, and I'll see you next time.
That was interesting, isn't it? So, I hope now you have understood how to multiply the numbers with and without regrouping. Alright, So next is your task. So I want all of you to have a paper and a pencil so that you can try it by yourself, right? Okay, so here what you have to do is I'll give a question here and you'll be given 10 seconds to answer it. Okay? So let's start. The first question here is double of 16. So to find the answer of this number, you will be given 10 seconds. So your 10 seconds starts now. Time up. So let's see the answer. So 16 times 2 or double of 16 is 32. So how many of you have got this answer? Yes, that's great. So you understood the question. Alright, moving to the next. Second question. 9 multiplied with 6. 9 multiplied with 6. So your 10 seconds starts now. Time up. Alright, so let's see the answer. Is it 54? Yes, 9 multiplied by 6 is 54. That's great. And third question, product of 15 and 7. Product of 15 and 7. So your 10 seconds begins. Time up. Okay, let's see the answer. So 15 or the product of 15 and 7 is 105. Alright, so how many of you have got this answer? That's very good. I'm very happy for you all. So that means you have understood how to multiply with and without regrouping the numbers. That's very nice. Okay, so here comes today's work. So we are going to do exercise and 3.1, which is on page 47 of your student workbook. Okay, so first let me explain the questions. So question number 1, 2 and 3. So question number 1 first. So these first 3 questions you need to do in your student workbook. Okay, so in the first question it says fill in the blanks. So you need to read the question very carefully and write the answer. Alright, second question, what is 2 19s? So you need to write the answer when there is 2 19s. Okay, and the third question is what is 9 times 4? So how much is 9 times 4? You are going to write the answer on the line given. Okay, and question number 4 and 5 you need to do in your exercise books. And if you don't have your exercise book, you can do it in another book. Okay, so the question number 4, it says find the product of the following numbers. So how do we find the product? Yes, by multiplying the numbers. So you need to multiply the given numbers to find the product of that two numbers. Okay? And question number 5, it says select pairs from the given numbers and find the product of each pair. So for each question there is 3 numbers given. You need to make pairs with each number and find the product. Okay? So that's your work for today. And now we are near the end of this lesson. So I hope that you have learned how to multiply the numbers with and without regrouping. So before we finish, let's recall our lesson, right? So what are the things that we have learned in our lesson today? Yes, you have learned how to multiply the numbers. And you have also learned how to multiply the numbers with regrouping and also without regrouping the numbers, right? Yes, that's very good. So now we are at the end of the lesson. Thank you all for listening. Hope to see you all soon. Till then, stay home, stay safe. Bye bye.